Welcome to another video from DIY Daily. Just put together a quick video today. We're just going to be investigating and fixing a fault on this 2014 Audi Q3. It's a diesel model. Basically the engine warning light's on. Now it is a bit of an intermittent fault. We can clear the fault code. We'll give it 4, 5, 6 miles. It varies sometimes. The fault light comes back on, that's all. We've done a full code scan with a top-down diagnostic machine, the Phoenix Lite 3. You can always do a full scan when I'm doing this, but basically the engine ECU, the fault code that we're looking at is P0121, throttle/pedal position sensor A, circuit range performance. Now, this fault code is often mistaken for a fault with the throttle pedal. It's not relating to the throttle pedal. It's usually relating to what you call the throttle body, but it's strictly not like a true throttle body on these Volkswagen Group vehicles. It is like a shut-off valve, but they call it throttle body. It sort of operates in a similar way. So basically we'll get under the bonnet now, just show you where the throttle body is located. We're going to get the throttle body off. Now most of the time the fault's caused by the throttle body being just gummed up, and basically it's a little flap, and it'll log like a position fault because it's all gummed up and it can't get into the position where it wants it to be. That's all. Sometimes you might have to replace the throttle body, but we'll always start with cleaning the throttle body out to start with, especially if it looks like it's really bad. But obviously I haven't touched this one yet, so we're going to get under the bonnet now, get it stripped down, have a look at it, and show you what's involved, and let's see if we can get it sorted. Now if you haven't already subscribed to the channel, just click on the red subscribe button below to make sure you don't miss out on any future content. And if you want to check out any of the tools or the equipment used, just check the links in the description below, and I'll put links to all that as well. But yeah, let's just get under the bonnet now, crack on, show you what's involved. Right, so we've just come under the bonnet now. All we've done is just pop the top engine cover off. Just got a few tools out ready. It's quite a straightforward job to do. So basically the throttle body, just located here, right at the front of the engine. And all we're going to need to do to get it off, you've just got the standard sort of Volkswagen style connector there. Just need to put your flat bladed screwdriver and just pop it back if you can't do it by hand. But normally you can just push it in and just get that off. Sometimes a little bit tight there. Then you're just going to need a 10mm. It's a little 10mm socket there just to undo the dipstick tube. Then we're going to need, you can either use a flat bladed screwdriver or 7mm, like a hose clip tool for that. Now it's going to be best to undo both of the hose clips and take the pipe fully out of the way. Just a bit tight trying to work around it otherwise. And then the 3 screws, the main mounting bolts that hold the throttle body up, you're going to need a Torx 27 socket to get them off. So we'll just crack on now, get all them undone, let's get the throttle body out and let's have a look at it, see what it looks like. Right, so that's the throttle body off, and you can just see just how badly caked up that is. Really badly carboned up all around, across the flap in the centre there, all around the outside. If you look from that side as well, you can just see how badly gummed up in there it is. So, now, it's not to say that it's definitely that's causing the issue. The valves can obviously fail, but with it being an intermittent fault, it's more likely to be due to that than anything else. They can sometimes shred the teeth on the cogs. I'm not going to strip any of that to start with. I'm just going to concentrate on just getting this all nicely cleaned out. We'll get it refitted, give it a good road test and just see what happens. So the fault was always coming back within about 4, 5, 6 miles. So as long as we give it a good long run, we should know if we fix the fault or not. But yeah, all I'm going to do to start with is just get nice, just clean the thick of it off with a big flat bladed screwdriver, just scrape it out. Then we'll use some carbon cleaner and we should be able to get that looking brand new again, or nearly as good as new anyway. So, but yeah, I'll just go and have a go at that now, see how I get on, and we'll get back to the video shortly. Right, so just back out of the vehicle now. I spent a good half an hour cleaning it out. I didn't film that because it's quite time consuming, but as you can see, it's absolutely spot on in there now. Not looking brand new, but you can see near enough, a million times better than what it was before. Yeah, it's quite time consuming to clean it out. Just use the flat bladed screwdriver just to clean the thick of it out. Use a bit of carbon cleaner. It's just a bit tight, you sort of leave it to soak a bit, keep cleaning a bit more out. And use a bit of brake cleaner on there as well. But as you can see, it's nice and clear now. The valve can move nice and freely and land where it needs to land. So it's just going to be a case now, just cracking on, getting everything back together. We'll then just jump in the vehicle, do a quick code scan, clear all the fault codes, give it a decent road test, and let's just see if it's fixed the fault. So yeah, let's just get cracking. Just before fitting that, one thing I didn't say as well, I was meant to say earlier on, it's always worth just giving it a bit of a clean out inside the front of the manifold as well, just before you put it back together. So just make sure when you do it, you just cover over the other pipe there. Right, so as you can see, that's all nipped up now. Now, I'm not going to lie, here's a little bit awkward. This pipe down there, it's not too bad to do, but it is a bit fiddly and a bit tight just to get your hand in and just work it over both bits. You sort of got to kink it up in the middle as you do it. But that's probably about the worst part of the job, really. But yeah, that pipe's all on now. The connector's back on. It's all nipped back up. Dipstick's nipped back up as well. Just going to pop the top engine cover back on now. We'll get in the vehicle, clear the codes, and give it a good run. So we're back in the vehicle now. We'll just get them codes are clear. It should clear out okay. Let's give it a decent run. I probably am going to take it for about 5-6 miles just to see if it fixes the fault. We can see the code's cleared out there. We'll just strike it up. The engine light is out. So let's just give it a quick road test and then I'll just update it shortly. Just let you know it's definitely fixed the fault. Right, so we've just got back from road test, done quite a nice long road test, but it's run absolutely spot on, not missed a beat at all. Just got back, just on a full code scan. You can just see it's all nice and clear in there, no faults at all. Said before, it is a bit intermittent. Might need, I mean, I've done about 10-12 miles in it now, whereas it was always coming back after about 4, 5, 6 at the most. So fairly confident that's fixed it. It's not to say that with that fault code it's always going to be that. There is a chance you could have a fault with the actual throttle body. Obviously, if so, you'll need to check the wiring, make sure the wiring's okay. But they're really common to this issue, and if you've got it, it's well worth checking that it's not caused by obviously just being gummed up there. So, but yeah, I hope you liked the video. If you did, give it a quick thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.